I've made a lot of videos in the past 2 days, but there was a question asked, and I thought I would, or I should, try my best to answer it. And I'm just going to give you my opinion as a normal, regular guy. I give you my humble opinion, and keep in mind that I don't claim to know anything for 100% sure. But when I okay, let me just repeat the question. The question was if the sequel is going to happen, right? Then why is there still such a need to buy the Blu-rays or to support the movie in various ways and things like that? If we're pretty confident that the sequel is going to happen, why is there still a big push? And is it possible that Jim Cameron and whoever else um, may not be telling us that the sequel is going to happen to sort of coax more money out of us, or just to allow us to continue to spend when we already had the sequel pretty much in hand? I, I would say to that, I don't believe that Cameron is looking at it that way. First of all, we don't know what his bar for success is. So we don't know exactly how much money Alita needs to make before he decides it's enough. I do believe we're at that point, but that's just my opinion. I don't know that for a fact. But the thing about it is, you don't want to just settle for just being a moderate or just barely getting by, just in case. You don't want to just settle for that. I think we really want to show the studio that there is a good demand for a sequel. And not only that, but the more we can do for Alita right now, the better in the long run it'll be for, let's just say, making fans. That's what I'm trying to say. The more Blu-rays that we get into other people's hands, that's more people seeing the movie, more people being interested in watching the digitals on iTunes or YouTube or wherever else they watch them. More people renting the movie through various websites or whatever, however they get them. These people are going to be in the seats next time when the sequel comes, and I think that's just as important as trying to get the sequel greenlit. Because right now, just look at what happened with the first movie. It came out, almost nobody, not almost say almost nobody, very few people apparently in the U.S. in North America paid attention to the movie, and maybe sort of worldwide too. China did help out a lot, and I know Alita did better in other countries as well, but Alita was mostly slept on. We don't want that to happen with the sequel. So the more people that we can get familiar with the IP, uh, more people that we can get to fall in love with the first movie, they will show up when the sequel is greenlit, right? And so another thing that will do is it'll make it a lot harder for the show media, the critics and whatnot, to bury this movie as or bury the sequel as they attempted to do with the first movie. We know we're going to get haters, right? And those people who hate the movie for political reasons or for just some other petty reasons are going to be there when the sequel comes out. And I'm sure maybe one or two things are going to happen. Either they're going to try to squash the movie, or they're going to jump on the bandwagon, but they're going to demonize the fans who were here before supporting the movie the entire time. They may just want to try to claim it for their own and say, uh, this this movie or this property is too good for those fans, right? Or we're the real fans, and those fans were some crazy incel, dubro, whatever guys with dubious motivations. And I could see that happening to us. But I guess the bigger picture is that all that really matters is Alita's success. We can fight those other battles when they come along. Right now, we just want to make that sequel happen, and we want to set Alita up for the best situation possible. And that is by having as many people aware of Alita, as many people in love with the character, in love with the property, so that when that sequel comes, we won't be barely squeaking by. we'll have plenty of people going to the theater, and maybe next time around, Alita may make 200 million in the U.S. at least, right? Maybe 300 million at least, hopefully, and maybe who knows? By the third movie, we get the third, we might be nearing $1 billion worldwide. That would be great, but definitely, I think pushing these Blu-rays right now, getting them into people's hands, is much more than just getting the sequel. And no, I don't believe that they're just uh, keeping silent about the sequel in order to allow us to spend more and more and more to try to make the sequel happen. I think there's a very good reason why they're not talking, and I've already said it before, but my primary reason for believing that they're not saying anything is that right now their focus is on Avatar and Terminator, and once Terminator is in theaters, I expect to hear something. That's going to be November. I expect to hear something about Alita, and hopefully, maybe even Alita may go into production early next year. Hopefully, I'm not saying this is going to happen, so nobody, try to claim I said for sure it was going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I'm being optimistic, and I'm hoping that it will. I hope that answers the question as well. And if anyone else has any questions, I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. In my own opinion, though, I'm not an expert. All right. So, thank you all for listening, and I'll talk to you later.